Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you. Can you hear me?
How can I hear you?
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
There's something
Hello?
there.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yep, I'm here.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I
Can you
can't
hear
hear
me?
you, Nick. What is going on?
Uh,
Say
may
something.
I on? Yep.
Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay.
Uh, now we're behind schedule. All right. Let's see. Hmm. You can hear me okay, Nick? Yeah?
Yep, I can hear you.
You got the VIP link ready, yeah?
Yes, yes.
What's the time?
4:53.
So you got the countdown timer ready, yeah?
Yes,
I'll
yes.
probably start streaming at about, I don't know, 2 minute countdown or something.
Okay.
All right, and then I'll turn off my camera
Mm-hmm.
and mic, and then at this thing we'll start, yeah, regardless of who turns up or not.
Okay.
Working with Matthew White and his team has been one of the best experiences that I've had. And what specifically changed and shifted for me was having the mechanics and the confidence behind what was being done, and then just needing to show up talking about the things that I enjoy the most. And what surprised me most about the experience was actually how little I did know about the process of getting people into the room. I thought my biggest problem was not knowing what to sell them, but learning how to actually have people show up and the messaging. So couldn't recommend him more. He's always been there. He's always been genuine. There's been no information that's ever been held back. He's been there every single time I've needed him, and him and his team have just been fantastic.
I had all this nightmare with the bank stuff, but it's like in 1 month, I'm focusing on look at everything we've done. Literally created an entire new business model, offer, website, masterclass, everything. I could never have done this without you. You guys are amazing, and I trust you. And you know, to say I trust somebody is even more than saying I love you, because I've just been burned by so many people, and it's just I know that this is something that people really want. I just haven't always known the best way to say it, and the marketing part and the messaging is so critical. So I just have such a deep respect for you and what you guys are doing. You just make me feel really safe. So thank you.
I've been working with Matthew, and I can
feel the huge difference and improvement in my business. It was one of the best business decisions I made. If I can measure, I would say 300%. It moves the needle, not like gradually it goes up this way. Or it's been like almost like you're driving with a dirty windshield, and now the windshield is crystal clear. I can believe in myself and in my offer now. So if you're thinking if you should be working with Matthew, I'm going to say, don't think at all. Just do it now. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for your patience. I'm forever grateful to you.
So, oh my gosh, Matthew, that was like one of the most impactful hours of my career, my entrepreneurial career. Thank you so much, Matthew. That was immensely helpful.
So
Good day. Welcome, 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 everybody. Thank you so much for all who are joining in. Congratulations to all of you people that are coming in. We're streaming live. We're going on all the socials. To all you guys out there, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're going to be diving into something really awesome, and we're going to be talking about how to run a 100K day masterclass and close 8 to 12 clients every 28 days. This is super awesome. So all of you guys that are in there today, on Zoom, on YouTube, Facebook, hi to all of you. Congratulations, welcome. I just want to say that I really appreciate and respect your time. You're investing in yourselves today, and that's incredible because time is valuable to all of you, and I really appreciate that. And I'm going to do my best to give you the most value out of this session today. And as we go through this, we're going to work through, and today when you leave, you're going to be leaving with some clear examples, clear expectations, and some clear actionable steps as you move through this. So welcome and thank you guys so much. So before I get started, I just want to say for those of you guys that have jumped into the VIP, congratulations. You're in for a real big treat because I'm going to show you exactly what you've all got out of this, and it's absolutely fantastic. So if you want to jump into the VIP now, my team is going to drop the link. You now have an opportunity. This is only going to be available for the next 5 minutes, and we're shutting it down, and we're going to jump into the session. So just quickly before I head into this, the first thing that you guys have got as you jumped into the VIP, we have got you would have seen the prompt vault, right? So you have access to the prompt vault. This is something that I'm going to be talking about as we go through this session. You have all the foundations of the prompt vault. You're going to be working on creating your offer, your formula, and all the stuff I'm going to be talking about today. This prompt vault is crazy powerful. This is next level. It's all AI driven, and you get access to that. Also, you guys have, as you've jumped into the system, you get access to all of these templates. We've pre-built all of your templates for you, for your funnels, for your masterclasses, for your challenges. These are the phases. We're going to talk about these today and what they mean and how you'll implement them into your business. You also have access to this AI tool where you can, and it comes with templates, so you don't have to go and overthink stuff. And we're going to be talking about exactly how this all comes together today. You got all the pages you need for creating all of your events. These are premium designed templates, which have got everything that you need to build an incredible experience for your people coming into your world. And all the other tools that we have. So tomorrow we're going to be jumping into an implementation session, and you're going to get to put all this stuff together. Today we're going to talk about why this is all important and what this means for you and your business today. So if you guys still want to jump into that VIP, you have literally 5 minutes, and we're shutting it down. And that gives you the opportunity to get all the tools, all the resources that you need to build a cash flow engine so you can self-liquidate your ad spend and everything you need, all the AI tools and all the stuff that we're putting together for you. So team, if you drop that link in the chat before we jump into it, and we'll get cracking into all of this. Awesome. Guys, if you could just mute your mics as we jump into this. Let's see who we got here. We got DG, we got iPad, we got Lauren, we got Marco, we got Mike, we got some more people jumping in here. That's fantastic. Guys, welcome. Thank you so much. And for all of you streaming in live from all over the place, Congratulations. All right. So we're going to talk about how to create your cash flow engine. This is how to self-liquidate your ads. And we're going to talk about numbers. We're going to talk about some maths. We're going to talk about some fun stuff. Who doesn't love numbers, right? But here's the thing. Numbers are everything. You can't run a business without knowing your numbers. So super, super important. All right. We're gonna do this without one-on-one sales or events that flop or chasing broke audiences. We're going to talk about why that matters today. So who's this for? Now, before I jump in, I just want to preface this to say that right now in the industry, if you've got an offer that's lower than $3,000, it's going to be hard for you to compete in this industry. How do I know that? Because right now, the cost of marketing, the cost of ads, the cost of showing up and standing out in this crowd is becoming harder, and it's increasing. We did this huge comparison test on all the different funnels that are available to you. Everything from low ticket to community to cold traffic to free community to memberships, lead magnets to VSLs, community to application, Masterclass, all of these different funnels that we tested, and we put money behind these. And ultimately, the best funnel so far has been the one that we're going to talk about today, the Masterclass funnel. And only at $3,000 does it work. So you need to be able to create, or I'm going to show you how to do that, or you need to have an offer $3,000 or more. Right. So if you're one of those people that have been doing one-on-one selling, right, you understand the grind, right? We've been the repetition, the chasing the calendars, right? The grinding follow-ups, getting people on your calls that aren't taking action, right? 80% of people on free calls never take action, right? Even if you're really, really good at sales and you're doing 20, 30% close rate, you've got 70% of those people that are wasting your time, and it's frustrating. There's a better way to do this. So if you're sick or tired of doing the grind, the one-on-one selling, this is for you. And also, if you've been running events, you've been doing masterclasses, challenges, webinars, whatever it is, and they're just not converting the way you want them to, you're attracting the wrong audience, you have empty rooms, and your pitch is not landing, this is definitely for you today. Right? Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Coaches and experts should not be struggling to close high-ticket clients. Now, if you stick with me during this masterclass, you won't have to. All right? Now, one of the key frustrations out of all of this, and we're going to go through some of the problems in the industry, but one of the big frustrations is filling the room, right? Getting an audience in front of you that's ready to buy, eager to do business with you, and ready to move forward. Now, what does that mean, right? So we did this survey. Over 1,000 people went through this survey. And what we found was 80% of the people that filled in the survey were struggling to fill the room. And that's why today's session is so important. We're going to talk about that and what that means and how you can capitalize on the effort that you're putting into your business to get a result on the back end, an ROI. Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you can see this, this is one of my clients' ad accounts, right? She's a lady, she's 58 years old, and she's running in the health space. And her cost for acquiring clients is literally $6.54 to get somebody into her world. That's crazy cheap. This is for an event. Her click-through rates are 6.52%. And she's only spending, her budget is really low for the amount of people that she's getting into her world. Now, the reason I say that is because even though there's people struggling to fill the room, right now we have an abundance of traffic. We have an abundance of eyeballs out there. And the algorithms, Facebook, YouTube, all of them are working in our favor if we know how to utilize them. Right? No more having to stretch your mind on doing social media, organic content. There is an abundance of eyeballs out there. We just have to be able to attract them at a reasonable cost and be able to get them into our world so we can close them, right? Now, there's three major problems. There's the three big gaps that people typically struggle with or face as we go through this journey, right? And these are, first of all, when you want to get people into your world, there is a conversion problem, right? The conversion problem means that your funnels aren't optimized, your landing pages aren't getting the right amount of conversions, and you're not bringing enough people into your world. And maybe the cost is increasing. If you're running ads, anyone here running ads, if you're running ads, right, you know that it's getting expensive if you don't have a system in place. So the conversion problem is huge, and it's costing people a lot of money. The next thing is we've got the cash flow problem. Now this is a big problem because, ladies and gentlemen, we need to have cash flow, right? We need to put money in and get money out. And that cash flow needs to be able to perpetuate so that when you're spending $1 on advertising, you're at least getting $1 back to build your list, right? To build your audience. And if you're not doing that, you're burning money because it's a downward spiral. As you put money in, if you're not returning at least the same back, right, to build that list, it's just all you're doing is going worse and worse and worse into the hole. And even trying to rely on selling on the back end, it becomes complicated, right? So the cash flow problem is huge. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have this other thing which is in our industry right now, and it's called the tech puzzle problem, right? Tech overwhelm. Any of you guys experienced that before, right? Tech overwhelm is debilitating. You're trying to stick this piece together. You're trying to put that piece together, right? You're trying to figure out how to duct tape all these pieces together, and it's just like AI has got this thing going, and then you got the new AI thing that comes out, and it's like, oh my gosh, we're getting burnt with tech overwhelm, and that's a big thing. So we're going to break through these today. Now I know many of you here, you've probably tried everything, right? You've tried tech stacks, software, books. You've been doing coaching programs, training. You've been out there on YouTube searching, looking for solutions and answers. I get that. And yet still there's uncertainty. Still a lot of people are struggling to try and put the things together that make the whole system work. And many people are just feeling stuck, right? We're living in quite a trying time right now. There's so much confusion, so much overwhelm, so many distorted messages going out there, and it's just like, what the heck? And I get it. I totally understand. Right? I just want to let you know, guys, that right now it's not your fault, right? It's not the effort, it's not your market, it's not your traffic, it's not your funnels. The real problem is this, right? It's a systems problem. It's a systems problem because ultimately we need to have a clear, complete system. Something that's simple, something that takes you from A to B and gets the job done. There's so few systems out there that actually work. Today we're going to talk about something important. Now, for those of you guys that are sticking with me today till the end, we're going to drop this cash flow engine into the mix. Let me just see if I got this here. Right, so this is a calculator that I developed, right? And we're going to be dropping this. You're going to get this calculator. Now, why is this so important? The importance of this calculator is that you need to know your numbers. You need to know how to create the cash flow, to get to from where you are now to generating income from your funnels. Let me just see, here we go. Now, this calculator is super important. What it's going to do is it's going to show you how the numbers come together. Now, and everything that I do in my business, I am very meticulous about numbers, right? This calculator is essential to showing you exactly how you're going to make money, and we'll talk about some of these numbers during the session. But typically, if you're running a free event, right, it shows you a free event, and you don't have any back-end support, as in bonuses, upgrades, that kind of thing, it's really, really hard to generate an income, an annual income. What we're looking to do is ultimately work on how we can increase the show-up rates and increase the conversions so that ultimately you're making more and more money by doing these things. Now, a lot of this stuff comes from confidence and practice, but ultimately we want to be in a position where we're making doing $1 million in revenue a year. But it takes understanding and knowledge and how the process works so that ultimately you could get to that place where you're doing $1 million a year, right? $1 million in a year is about $100,000 in a month. But it takes knowing the numbers and what to put in place as you go through. So this calculator is going to be available to you guys to play around with. Super important. I highly suggest that you go and have a look at this. And we will be giving this away to you at the end for you guys that stick around with me. It's one of the most valuable pieces of assets that you can own as a business owner. All right. So my team will drop that in down the track. So just look out for that at the end of the session. Right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, is it okay with you if I share with you a little bit of my story, tell you where I've come from and why this all matters? All right? If it's okay, I'll just share this with you for a minute because this is going to give you context as to why this all matters. My name is Matthew White. I'm a #1 best-selling author in 5 countries. I've generated more than $24.6 million in high-ticket sales. I've helped my clients generate more than $5.13 million in recurring income in my journey. And I'm the creator of the 100K day formula, the formula that we're going to be talking about today. Right? I specialize in helping people fill the room with premium buys. And across the board, over the last while, I've been helping clients close 8 to 12 clients every 28 days without one-on-one sales or events that flop or chasing broke audiences. All right. I have a Black Diamond VIP offer that I have, which is clients pay me $115,000 for. That's my highly exclusive membership where my clients are making more than $1 million in a year. We get our clients 10x the results on that. That's why we're confident in being able to charge me. So people pay me as much as that. Today, I'm going to be showing you the exact same stuff I show my VIP clients, and we're going to be going through this. And for you guys that have jumped in, this is all for you, right? So I have clients that I've helped, for instance, like Vincent Holthouse, $28,000 closed in 7 weeks, just 7 weeks. What's incredible about Vincent is he then took this formula and he went on to make $680,000 in that same year. Melanie Lavassier, she passed, she's doing 100K in net income for the year and is now on her way to doing $250,000 in net income after all of expenses, right, in profit. Melanie Warner, she run masterclasses and this is amazing, right? From 10 people in her event, right? 10 people, she closed $75,000. Just 10 people, and she went on to close another $144,000 in upsells from one event. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the power of taking action and putting in the effort and a clear system. All right, my team is just going to play a little bit of a testimonial reel just to show you some of the clients that we've been working with. Team.
Working with Matthew White and his team has been one of the best experiences that I've had. And what specifically changed and shifted for me was having the mechanics and the confidence behind what was being done, and then just needing to show up talking about the things that I enjoy the most. And what surprised me most about the experience was actually how little I did know about the process of getting people into the room. I thought my biggest problem was not knowing what to sell them, but learning how to actually have people show up and the messaging. So couldn't recommend him more. He's always been there. He's always been genuine. There's been no information that's ever been held back. He's been there every single time I've needed him, and him and his team have just been fantastic.
I had all this nightmare with the bank stuff, but it's like in 1 month, I'm focusing on look at everything we've done. Literally created an entire new business model, offer, website, masterclass, everything. I could never have done this without you. You guys are amazing. And I trust you. And, you know, to say I trust somebody is even more than saying I love you, because I've just been burned by so many people. And it's just, I know that this is something that people really want. I just haven't always known the best way to say it. And the marketing part and the messaging is so critical. So I just have such a deep respect for you and what you guys are doing. You just make me feel really safe. So thank you. I've been working with Matthew and I can feel the huge difference and improvement in my business. It was one of the best business decisions I made. If I can measure, I would say 300%. It moves the needle, not like gradually it goes up this way. Oh, it's been like almost like you're driving with a dirty windshield and now the windshield is crystal clear. I can believe in myself and in my offer now. So if you're thinking if you should be working with Matthew, I'm going to say, don't think at all. Just do it now. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for your patience. I'm forever grateful to you.
So, oh my gosh, Matthew, that was like one of the most impactful hours of my career, my entrepreneurial career. Thank you so much, Matthew. That was immensely helpful.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So just Guy Bouchard was one of the first testimonials. He just closed $100,000 in a single day, and it took him 157 days to get to that place. So he's been running his classes consistently, and he closed $100,000 in one day. Incredible. So I'm very proud of him for doing that. And it's from just following the system, right? Now, a little bit about me. I started out in construction many years ago. This was me at my construction site. I was caught in the golden handcuffs, right? I don't know if any of you have experienced that before. You're good at a job, you're good at doing the thing, but you want to do something else, right? You want to do your own thing. You want to make your own way in life. You want to build your own business, but you get stuck in this cycle, this vortex, what I call the golden handcuffs, the pat on the back for doing a good job, and then you're like, relying on this wage, and you know that if you stop, it's going to be difficult because you have to take a step backwards and all these things. So I got stuck with imposter syndrome, doubt, feeling like I was just not good enough, feeling like this, I wasn't going to make it in this industry. But I had this deep burning desire inside of me, right? I don't know if you guys experience this, like the entrepreneurial flame, the flame that burns in you, right? The flame that just keeps you moving forward because you know, right? You know you're destined for something better. You know you're destined for something good in this world, right? And you want to serve people. And that's what was burning inside of me. And I would go to my job in day out, feeling like I didn't want to be there, feeling stressed. I would be yelling at people, shouting because I was in charge of big teams, right? I was doing jobs up to $180 million projects, but I just didn't want to do that, right? And if I look back, you can see down the bottom here, I have Bob written on this image here. Because if I look back, and I don't know if you guys have experienced that before, right? You look back at yourself 5 years ago and you're like, man, who is that person, right? The growth that you've experienced, the learning that you've had, right? Because the person that's 5 years or 10 years before you is not the same as the person that's sitting right here with me now, ladies and gentlemen, right? Get that. And so I look back at Bob and I'm like, that guy is not me, because now I've broken, I've learned, I've experienced more, and I've figured things out. So let me go back here. Oh, well, that slide, this thing. So what I did was I went into, and any of you guys know this, right? Entrepreneur University. Entrepreneur University means that you're learning about stuff they don't teach you in school, right? They don't teach us about marketing, about how to do emails and how to do funnels and how to do write copy and how to do scripts and how to show up and present, right? They never taught us that stuff. So we had to go and figure things out for ourselves. We had to go and invest in ourselves. So I started investing in Entrepreneur University, right? Learning specifically about this thing that I discovered called high ticket sales. High ticket sales is the idea of selling something at a really high price, right? When I learned about this, I was like, oh my gosh, you can sell something at this really high price and make a huge profit, and it's like all this stuff. And it was really appealing to me and intriguing to me. And so I started learning and learning and learning. Russell Brunson, Eileen Wilder, Keith Kranz, Pedro Adair, Shakir Hussain, Charlie Morgan, Jeremy Miner, Matt Lloyd, Richmond Din, Aaron Fletcher, just to name a few. I was all in. I was all in to learn about this thing called high ticket. And I've spent all this time just so saturated and fixated on how this all works. And so I then invested in this business model, right? A business model, a high ticket business model. And I learned from all the guys out there. There was all these people telling you how to put this stuff together. And at first, I mean, my offers were $15,000 all the way up to $250,000 our offers, right? So I was selling, and sometimes in one day, I would do $100,000. And I've sold to date more than, I think, 127 $100,000 days, selling $100,000 and more offers. 24.6 million in sales. And this business here was a very simple model. It was a landing page, sorry, we had a VSL to a calendar booking, a free calendar booking. This is how I ran my business. Very simple model, but it comes with a but. Now, I was doing really well. We ran this model. It was in the consulting space, helping people with real estate. And this model did really well, and I helped my clients have success. And it was a really good system. You can see here, we were doing an average 30 calls a week. These are free calls, right? Free discovery calls. Now, if you guys have ever done free discovery calls, you know that it's a burnout model, right? I think that doing one-on-one selling is an old model. It's a burnt out model. It doesn't work anymore, and it causes so much frustration. I still don't know why I did it. I wish I'd discovered what I'm about to show you today. I was doing 460. I don't know if you can see. This is my. I'll get a bit of image of this, but it's 460 calls in a year that I was doing. This is my Calendly data. 460 calls I was personally doing every year. What I didn't realize until a certain point, is that I'd invested in a broken money model, right? And I got totally burnt out. Now, this is a picture of me, a little bit funny. My partner took this photo of me, right? I was literally passed out at my desk. I was so burnt out from doing one-on-one selling. I wanted to literally hide under my desk and just cry because I didn't want the next sales call to happen. Like, I literally was frazzled because I would call after call after call, right? The same story, the same thing, over and over and over again. Then chasing them up, the follow-ups, the DMs, all these things. It was just a nightmare, right? I don't know if you guys can relate, but if you do, maybe you can relate to this. And then one day, I was out there going, there has to be a better way. We have to figure something different out. And obviously, in being in the industry, I'd heard about one-to-many selling. I don't know why I just didn't do that in the beginning, because here's what happened, right? I ran this experiment and I spent $1,002 on paid ads, right? 27 people attended and $317,000 closed in just 2.5 hours. My mind was blown, right? It was just a small little in-person event, right? You can see all the people there, my system on the table. This was the landing page that I did. But the reason why, to be honest, is because I was really good by this point at running ads, building funnels that converted, and getting people into my world. So these people came in really hot. And $317,000 blew my mind, because here's the thing, right? That amount of closes would have taken me 60, maybe 80 hours of follow-up and cycles and going through getting people over the line. And it would have been way frustrating on the phone all the time. Whereas in here, I had 27 people and a couple of them bought, and I sold $317,000. It just blew my mind, right? Like, I was like, that's it. I'm all in. Now, I recently got an award for doing $126,000 from Eileen Wilder. Actually, it's $126,000. This is my award for closing $126,000 in one day. But I've done that many, many times in my business. So I know the mechanics of a high quality offer and what it looks like to do $100,000 in a day. And that's what we're working on today, right? I'm obsessed. I'm a little bit of a nerd. I don't know if you guys noticed, right? I'll get a little bit nerdy about this stuff. I'm like, I want to know the details. I want to know the science behind it. I want to know the mechanics of everything, right? So I've invested heavily, $420,000 plus in self-education, going through Entrepreneur University. I spent more than $1.2 million on ads, and I've lost more than $320,000 in bad mistakes, right? Investing in stuff that didn't work, making really bad mistakes. It's about $2 million in trial, error, and effort. I don't say that to brag, ladies and gentlemen. I say that to impress upon you that you're in the right place. Learning about high-ticket virtual events is what I specialize in, and I want to impart upon you and help you guys create a simple way to move forward in your businesses. Okay, so if you guys are still keen, let's go. Let's go. We're going to jump in and I'm going to show you about the cash flow engine and why this all matters, right? Giving you context on the actual mechanics of all of this. Now, here's the thing. If you're spending $1 on advertising and it's not returning you money, that's a very bad place to be. And even if you're out there trying to organically get people into your world to drive any event or any sales process, it's frustrating, it's time consuming, it's onerous. So what we want to do is be able to be in a place where we can put $1 in, get $1 or $2 out initially before the event even starts, and then be able to take that money and perpetuate it, right? Create a cycle of getting things happening. Now, when we talk about events, right, there is a mechanics that works, right? Now I've studied more than 470 odd event funnels, all the way from Tony Robbins to Russell Brunson to Myron Golden to Eileen Wilder, Shakir Hussain, or everybody in between. Like we've just gone, anyone that's making more than $1 million, we've gone and dissected their event funnels to have a look at their process and how it all works. Now, essentially, you can see this, there are 11 pages altogether, 11 or 12, there's actually 11, there's another one, pages that are necessary that you can plug together in different ways to make an event engine work or event cash flow engine work, right? And this in and of itself creates confusion. So what happens, right? We got so much information out there telling us all these different things about running events. Is it a webinar? Is it a workshop? Is it a masterclass? Is it this or is it that? And I get it. It's very confusing, frustrating. I've been around this space for a while and I know. Because these are the decisions you need to make, right? Do I run a micro event? A micro event is a 60 to 90 minute event, right? Or a 45 to 90 minute event. Micro events are effective in and of themselves if they're done correctly. Then you have single day events, right? Where you go from 2 hours to 4 hours, right? Single day events have their own mechanisms and their own decision-making processes. Then you have multi-day, right? You got your 3-day summits, challenges, launches, that type of stuff sitting in that category. Now, each one of these has a different input and output. And so you got to make decisions. With so much information out there, it's like, what's good for me? Do I do short events? Do I do single day workshops, masterclasses? Do I do multi-day challenges, launches, seminars, summits? What is going to be best for me? So then on top of that, there's a decision on the entry onto your event, right? Do we do free event? Do I charge free? Or do I have a paid event? Do I charge people money to come into my world, right? What does that look like? And then ultimately, really, and this is an initial decision that you're going to make, what does my close sequence look like? Am I closing hard? Am I closing soft? Am I doing a hybrid? What does that look like in terms of how my funnel is going to be structured? Because this decision is important in the funnel structure. And so, in and of itself, these decisions seem simple, but they also create complexity and overwhelm. Here's the one thing I want to impart upon you, right? Maybe I have this in the next slide. Ultimately, we're aiming for cash flow because cash flow is king. If you can create cash flow in your business initially, then you're going to drive an awesome engine. I'm going to show you some of the numbers on what that looks like. You want to put $1 in and get $1 out, at least, to build your list. Because if you're putting $1 in and you're getting 75 cents back, even though you might still make money on the close, it starts burning, your money starts burning, and you start burning and burning. So if you're not closing, what does that mean to your list, right? Your list is costing you more money than what it's making you. So if you can create a free list and you can start building your audience on that free list, whatever you do after the fact is going to compound and start creating more and more money for you because the money is ultimately in the list, right? Now, just quickly want to see here. One of the things I want to before we jump into this, I just want impart upon you this one thing, which I think is super important. And when I learned about this, it changed my life, right? So right. Immersion equals conversion. I want you guys to maybe absorb that for a second and consider this, right? Sorry. Immersion equals conversion. The more you're immersed with people in your events, the higher the conversion, or the easier it is to convert. Immersion equals conversion. Time is money. Time spent with your audience is money. So the more engagement, the more you can spend time with people, the better your conversions are going to be. And so if we go back to where we were before when I was talking about that equation, right? Where we go there, right? If there's a decision-making process, the first thing to consider is that micro event, single day, and multi-day, the conversion metrics on these are going to be different. For instance, if you did micro events, you have to get people on a call after the event, some way, shape, or form, because you don't have enough time to spend with people to get that conversion unless you're dropping your price and doing some kind of event a membership offer, right? So it's really hard to create that in a small event. So you got to get them on the call. You got to create that immersion. You got to speak to people. In a single day event, you start moving away a little bit from having to do a call where you can do different types of closes, and you can increase or reduce the amount of time spent on actually talking to people, and just rather than having to sell to them, you're more like enrolling them. It's different. And then going to multi-day, if you can spend more time with people through a multi-day process, that's when your conversions really increase, and you can move away from doing the one-to-one selling. Does that all make sense? This is super important to understand, because this is the thing that's missing in the industry, is people don't understand that the longer you spend with people in your world, the more conversions you're going to make, right? So interesting, so exciting as well. So what does that mean? What does that really mean ultimately? So I get a lot of people that come to me from all different areas, right? Some people are doing well, some people are trying to build things up and get confident. And so there is a model or a framework or a process, a sequence that we have to go through to get to a place of confidence, right? And you can't build a business. It's impossible. I don't know if you guys have ever been out there, right? And you know that you just know you need the fundamentals. Because if you don't have the fundamentals, everything kind of falls apart as you're trying to build. It becomes harder. You're sticking this piece together here, you're building this piece, and you're trying to duct tape all these things together in your business, and you just feel the money is just leaking out of it, right? A leaky bucket. And so what we want to do is we need to go through a process. And there is no other way to do this, ladies and gentlemen. I've been in the industry of events now for many years, and I see people that are having success. We've invested in people that have had success. We're part of team. We see all the guys that are doing really well in the industry, and then I get to see people that are not doing so well. And when I see people that are not doing so well, the simple thing is that they haven't gone through this process. They haven't built up their muscles to get better and better and better at the thing, right? Because you've got to exercise this. You've got to work this out. And so the very first part of doing this is you need your first 1 to 5 clients. Now, maybe you've already done this part. You've got 1 to 5 clients. That's amazing. Then you're in a really good spot. But if you've never closed at least 1 to 5 clients in an event, doing this process, then you're in this launch phase, right? And what does that mean? Now, for most people, I can honestly say that this is the biggest thing that they struggle with. It's message validation, knowing the message. The message is everything. If you don't have a clear, concise, crystal clear message, then everything kind of downstream falls apart. So we got to start there. We've got to build your message. We've got to get clarity on that message. Usually the thing that people are struggling with is this. They're not sure of their audience. their avatar uncertainty. Who's the person that I need to get in front of? Where do I find a big enough audience that's prepared to invest in me and spend high ticket prices? And usually from all of that, they have this message distortion. The message is unclear. So that the audiences that are coming into their world are not the right audience. And that's a big frustration, right? That's a big problem. Because when you have people in your world that are not the right audience, then you're going to struggle. Everything downstream doesn't work, right? The next layer up is we got to work on offer validation, right? That's to get you to that 10, 20K a month. You're not going to get to 10 or 20K a month without having a crystal clear offer that's validated, right? You get to that place where you feel confident about your offer. Your offer is converting. It's you know that you feel confident in that offer. You know that it's something that people want, and it's like exciting, right? When you break through that offer validation barrier, everything changes. Now, a lot of the reason why a lot of people don't convert on the offers easily is usually this, right? They don't have the credibility. The audiences are small, right? Their offer isn't validated, like they haven't put it in front of an audience before. Team, please monitor the people coming into the room. They need credibility. They need to build this cycle of getting testimonials and building their audience. And then usually we go to the next phase, which takes you to 25 to 50K a month, right? And that's where you get to validate your pitch, your presentation, right? And we change the mechanics of a pitch to go from selling on a one-on-one basis to not selling at all, just closing in an event. This pitch validation process is important because it removes you from having to get stuck in that cycle of doing one-on-one selling. When you get to this place, this is a magical place to be, because now you can start looking at what's the phase I need to get to scale validation, right? And this is the mastery phase. When you get to mastery, then it becomes super easy, but it takes practice. It takes working your muscles and doing consistently the thing. But you need to make money along the way, right? And so it grows and grows and grows and grows and compounds. So this is the model that we're going to talk about today, and how you're going to get from where you are now, whichever part of this pyramid that you're in. I call this the 100K day accelerator pyramid, right? It's the fastest path to get to those $100,000 days or $100,000 months, and doing it the right way. All right. So when we talk about message and being crystal clear on your offer, these are some of my clients that I've worked with, and this is the power of message, right? I'll tell you a story about my business. When I first started getting into marketing, doing consulting, there was this time when I was really like frustrated. I was like, my cost to acquire a client was about $5,000. Now, even though we were selling high ticket, it was super expensive, and it was frustrating to me. We're spending money on ads, and it was costing us so much money to stand out in the market. Now, if any of you know that real estate is like cutthroat. It's super competitive, just like marketing. And so I needed to figure out how to stand out. And I started working with this coach, my mentor, and she told me that I needed to go and test. And what was the thing that I needed to test? She said, your message. You need to test your message. Get crystal clear on your message. If you get your message right, everything else downstream is going to work. And I was like, okay, well, we do the process. We went through the system and we tested message. We improved. We got better. We did all this data, right? And I got emotionally invested in this idea of financial freedom. I thought everybody in my world wanted financial freedom. Like, that was what I was fixated on. I was like, it has to be, because that's what everyone is talking about in the market, getting financial freedom. And so we did this series of tests, and it blew my mind, right? And this is the power of data and understanding your message and understanding words, right? Because words matter, and being able to stop the scroll. And it was crazy. We ran this test, and I had this headline, which was about building cash flow and having financial freedom. And at the end of the series of testing and doing all these headlines, we discovered that the one thing that my audience wanted was to retire early. And I never thought about that at the time until I saw the data in front of me. And the difference between those two words, financial freedom and retire early, was 473% difference in conversions. What happened was once we went through that process and we created a new message and we dialed it in, my cost to acquire a client went from $5,000 to $896 something to acquire a client. That's a massive shift just by focusing on and spending time and energy on messaging, right? Here's an example of this, what I'm talking about. One of my clients, Amy, we were doing a similar thing. And we were testing, right? This is a split test of her landing page. And the only difference between these two pages is the headline, right? It was exactly the same page. Only thing was the difference was the headline. Look at this. 23% conversions, right, versus 40% conversions. That's huge difference, a huge shift from messaging and understanding the mechanics of your funnel and the copy, right? Big shift. Then we had a similar thing. Vincent, there's one another example, right? The only difference here between, and we do this time and time and time again. We're testing and we're getting really clear on the message, right? And the funnel mechanics. The only difference between these two pages, once again, was headline. This one converting at 11%. This one converting at 20%, 20.66%. Ladies and gentlemen, in a year, if you're spending money on ads or anything, well, on ads, right? You're spending money on ads, and you have a difference between like double the difference. Like, you know what that means over a year? That's millions of dollars in lost revenue. For me, it was literally millions of dollars. 1% could be a huge shift in your outcome. So we have to go through the mechanics and build confidently and get the right thing. And sometimes we don't know. We have to let the data help us and guide us and lead us. So this is Vincent. I talked to you about him. Sorry, Vincent, Guy Bichard. Better change that. My apologies. But Guy here wrote me this message, right? And he said, I just landed my first $100,000 client. $30,000 non-refundable deposit. I thought I'd let you know. Freaking amazing, dude. All done. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for everything you've done to help. Now, Guy is one of my students that followed the process. He went and learned about understanding the mechanics of building his funnels and getting his message dialed in and running his ads the right way. When you get this all dialed in and running, the ability to make money becomes much more easy, because right now, guys, we're playing two games, right? And the most important game that we're playing in today's market and economy is to stop the scroll. Think about that for a minute. If you can't stop the scroll, you're losing the game. So we have to work on what we can do to stop the scroll, and this is what we're going to be talking about today. So we have four phases that we need to go through, right? Now, in the first phase, this is how we set up and structure a funnel. Let me just draw this a little bit here so we can get clarity on this, right? We need, and I'm not going to talk about ads, but I'll talk about ads at the end. We've got some stuff about this. But we need to have a growth engine, right? Look, this is your traffic, right? And we have an ask, pay, and post system, right? Ask, pay, and post. This sends your traffic to your funnel, right? So this is your landing page. Now you have to have a ticket registration page. Your ticket registration page is the most important part of the puzzle. And we get told a whole lot of stuff about our funnels and about setting up, but 99% of the effort I put into the top of the fold of any funnel. The stuff that happens down here is just mechanics, and it's maybe 2% of the effort and energy put into there because it's the same process. We've studied hundreds and hundreds of funnels, and the stuff that happens below here is a process, right? We just follow the mechanics, but the magic happens up here. Whatever you're doing up at the top. So when you're starting in phase one, you wouldn't have a video at the top there. You're going to have an image of your system, and we'll talk about the systems, and you have a very specific type of structure there. Mess this part. But ultimately, this part here, this headline is probably the most money that I spend investing and testing on everything that we do in our business. So once you have that set up correctly, that's your phase one. This is part of your phase one. It's getting really dialed in on your ticket page, right? Your ticket registration page. And in the beginning, the very first model that we're doing is a free registration. Why? Because here's the thing. If you go and spend money and invest into your event engine, we call this a cash flow engine, and you're not getting the right conversions on this page, nothing else is going to work. So that's why we're validating the message. We're validating the copy first, and we're working towards getting that 25% to 30% conversions on this page. If you're not at this place, right, where most of my clients get to their breakthrough at this point on a free event, going to the next layer up becomes really difficult, and it's complicated. So this part, or this first phase, is really 100% about validating your message, and then in getting confident in getting people to show up. Now, even though this page is super important in conversions, here's something interesting, right? Here's something interesting. Somebody say not hearing anything. Hello? Can you hear me? I see somebody saying not hearing anything.
Yes, we can hear you, Matthew.
Awesome. All right, we'll continue. Team, is everything okay? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Hello, hello. Can you guys let me know if you can hear me? You can hear me? All right, okay, I'll continue. There's a glitch in there. All right, so, all right, thank you, guys. All right, so what we're doing here is we're validating message. You cannot build a business without this part of the process, right? So this, when we go back, I'll show you in a minute. So here, so your conversion, your metrics on the first ticket page, your registration page is super important. Like this is everything in your business now, you're validating your message. But here's what they don't teach you. The money is made on the second page, your thank you page and the pages after. This is where the money is made. And so when you're doing the phase one, you need to create a place where people, now you need to have a video. If you don't have, on the front page, you can have a static, but on the second page, you have to have a video. Why? Because you need to introduce yourself. You need to have something of value to add to the conversation, and people need to get to know who you are, hearing your voice, seeing your movements, hearing the mechanics of what's going on. If you don't have a video, your show up rate is going to be really low in contrast to the amount of money that you're spending. Then what we're doing in phase one, we got all this, the copy, everything's done. You got your FAQs, all the structure of that's working. And for you guys that have bought the VIP, you already have all this. For guys going forward, we'll talk about what that looks like. But if you got all the mechanics set up, that's not too difficult, but it's important to get the message. So we get 25 to 35% conversions. Then we come to this page. Now, in phase one, we're going to do something really interesting, right? We are going to run first of all, you have three things, right? 1, 2, 3. The first thing you have is a calendar, right? A calendar button so that they can put the date on their calendar and they're going to show up. So they get it on their calendar. We use things like add to event, that kind of stuff, right? Add event is a good software to use. Then we get them to a group, right? Facebook group where you can stream live into and show up and get people to engage and interact. Then 3, right? And this is super important. We're going to run a survey. Why a survey? Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be your money. If you want to grow a business and give people what they want, the survey will change your world, right? About 60% of people will fill in the survey if you do this process correctly, right? What this will do in phase 1 is give you crystal clarity on the thing that you can deliver on, the pains that people are struggling with, the words people are using. The data that comes out of a survey in this phase is incredibly valuable. Ask people what they want, give them what they want, sell them what they need. Has anyone ever heard that, right? I love that saying. But here's the reality of it. Like if you can get people, this page here is going to be your money page. This is where you make the money. This is your conversion metrics, validating your message. But now, for the first phase, we're going to do that, right? So that becomes a really powerful mechanism. Let me move on here. So, guys with me? We got a initial ticket page, 30% conversions, message, and here we're going to do a survey. We're going to collect that data so we can iterate, use that data to then go into the next phase. So, we'll go into the next phase. And going into the next phase is the biggest shift you can do in your business when it comes to events, because now you're going to get to this place where it's a little bit blurry. Come on. Oh, there we go. We're going to go from a free to maybe a paid, right? So you have a choice here of what happens, right? The free, and what we're going to do is we're going to increase the value of the cart by introducing a VIP upsell. So let me put that into perspective. Now just know that everything here comes with a community attached to it. You need to have a community, and that's going to drive the power of this. I'll show you how all that works in a minute. So once again, we have this traffic, ask, post, pay. Right? This drives your growth, and it's your traffic engine, right? We'll talk about this in a minute. Now, in this session, right, we're still going to keep everything in looking at the top of funnel. Now, we don't have to change this ticket page, right? Your ticket page, your ticket registration page can be exactly the same. You got your image, you got it set up, it's working, it converts. The only shift that you might do, right, is your headline, you got the sub-headline, and then you got all of your copy in here. The only thing that you might do is shift from a free to a paid. Now the length of your, here, you can keep the length micro, because I'm going to talk about the closing sequence in a minute and how you close in these. But here we're going to have the same mechanics. So second page, this is where your money is. Your money is in the second page. So here we go from free, or some clients like to go to $1. Why? The reason you would go from free to $1 is because, if anyone knows, when you spend money on ads, people who pay attention. People who pay attention. And even the shift from attracting a free audience to a $1 audience is a huge shift. Like the numbers change. Now you can still stay free, right? But if you stay free, you want to start charging for this next level. And there's different mechanics that you can use for this, depending on what you sell and what niche you're in. But let's just assume you're in the high ticket space and you're wanting to sell high ticket stuff. You're going to have a VIP upsell, right? VIP. Why would you have that? Instead of having just a normal thank you page, this is now how you start getting to the place where you can start self-liquidating, right? You're turning money into money. $1 in, $1 out. The VIP upsell is the place where you get to where you start attracting a buyer's audience. These are the people that are going to become your buyers, and you're going to then start creating much more desire in what you're doing, and build a buyer's list. So that's what we're working towards, building a buyer's list, right? People who pay to be in your world, and what about whatever means. And so at this level, you're charging between $47 to $97 for this VIP. And you're going to give them a stack of stuff, right? We have a list. We have an AI that actually creates all this stuff, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. So you have this VIP upsell. This is going to be the biggest needle mover you can do in your business when done correctly. As you're buying, you're getting a buyer's list. And these people are going to be your money in your engine. So if you guys are tracking with me, I'll go back a section. We won't talk about traffic yet. You get this conversion metrics happening. It's 20 to 30% on free. Then when you get to paid, it's going to drop to about 5% if you go to $1. If you're still free, it's going to be 5%, but then the mechanics is a little bit different on your VIP. What we're doing here is we're going to start building it out so we can validate your offer, right? And we start changing the mechanics of the offer. We go from creating a testimonial offer to get testimonials, to creating an offer where you can start growing the business, right? This is an important shift that you're doing. So your same ticket page, this doesn't change. All we're doing is adding or shifting out that other thank you page and bringing this one in, and we're doing a VIP upsell. Why would we do that process? Because if you don't do the process that way, you're not going to have enough data to understand what people want that you can start charging them for. It's very difficult. Even if you've been in an industry for years, if you do a survey campaign first, you'll be blown away by the language, the stuff that people are saying in those surveys that can give you data that you never knew you didn't know about in your industry. The most valuable asset you can have. And then when you shift to paid events, because that's what you want to be doing. You want to be doing paid events. That's the mechanics of it, right? So now we've got confidence in taking the next step. Let me just move on to the next phase, right? So phase 1 and phase 2 are the most essential parts of building the business. Now you can start moving over to the next phase. Now, just want to go back here. One of the things I want to mention here as we're going through this, you guys will have this if you in the VIP, you'll have all these diagrams, which gives clarity on where we're at and what's going on here. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I need some coffee here. Love my coffee. Any coffee drinkers in the house? Yeah? Love your coffees? All right. Awesome. So we're going to talk about the close sequence in a minute, right? And the close is important because as you're developing these, your close is going to improve. You're going to get better close rates, and you're going to change the ship because we don't want to. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want to have people in our world on a call that hasn't paid us money. And I'm going to show you how that zero selling system works in a minute. But ultimately in this phase, what we want to do is create a testimonial process, right? Getting and creating testimonials so that you can get testimonials and improve your testimonials, because this is a big blockage for a lot of people. So in this phase 2 model, we're really highly focused on increasing cart value, but also increasing the testimonials, getting testimonials happening. What we're doing is we're increasing the cart value from a 1x to a 2x, and even in some instances up to a 5x, right? So we're growing the value of our business by increasing and adding the next components. Now, I know this might seem like it's a lot of work, but it's necessary. If you want to build a business that's going to create consistency and reliability for years and years and years to come, you need to know these things. You need to build it confidently, exercise the muscles, get stronger at the things, and practice until you get better and better at it. It's just the reality of business. Now, we're going to go to phase 3. Now, phase 3 this is a beautiful place to be. And I encourage all my clients and you guys as well to get to this place where you're charging for people to be in your world all the time. Paid events are the best way to move forward. Now, I still do free events because we have a unique model that we're working with. And we can talk about that in a minute. But for most people, if you get to the place where you're charging at least $27 for your events, that's where the magic happens. Your show-up rate is going to increase. Your quality of your audience is going to be better. You're going to have such a great momentum that it's just incredible. This award that I got from Eileen Wilder was based on exactly this model here, charging for an event and getting people into the world. Now, we do loads of testing on all different types of funnels, so I'm constantly changing and updating and doing different things to experiment so I can help my clients do better in their businesses. But here's the thing, 100%, if you charge for $27, if you haven't gone through the previous 2 phases, it's going to be very expensive to compete in this market. Very expensive because you haven't got a message, you don't have a system, you don't have the right traffic strategy into this, and you don't have the message dialed in, you haven't validated your offer. It becomes very expensive. I do not encourage people to do this until they've done the first 2 phases. But by the time you get here and you've got an engine running, boom, like it becomes magical. It becomes this incredible experience. You feel confident about those numbers, right? Now, what does that look like? What does that mean? Let's go through this again, right? Once again, we create a flywheel for traffic, right? This flywheel is, I say, ask, post, and pay. This is a $5 engine, by the way. Starts with $5, and you start creating your momentum. You run it to a ticket page, right? We'll do the ticket page quickly, fold all your copy and your structure. Now, here at the bottom, just a little bit different, is you're going to have a cart. Let me do this probably a little bit different here. So the only thing you're adding when you go to paid events here, right, is we're assuming we're going to have a cart. You guys know what a cart is, right? You're collecting money. And when it happens on this page, if you don't have all your copy dialed in, it's going to be hard to get that cart working. But what we want to do on here, the biggest shift, there's 2 big shifts, and by now we know our audience, we know our conversions, we know the messaging that works, we know what gets people pulled into our world. We put a video on that same page. So nothing else changes down there. We're just shifting from the image, and we're going to be talking about the system, right? And we're going to sell them on a system. And the system sells. And so you have a cart page, but at the bottom here, you're going to have bump 1, and bump 2. And then the amount that you're charging for your VIP session. Say you're charging $97, right? So you're going to have a charge for the VIP, sorry, what am I saying? My bad. $27. So you're going to have a $27 ticket, and you're going to have 2 bumps, right? Now, why 2 bumps? We've tested 3 bumps, we've tested 4 bumps, we've tested 1 bump, and ultimately, it's a 2-bump mechanism that works really well. Over and over and over again, for some reason, it's a psychological thing, obviously, the option of 2 seems to be more powerful than 3 or 4 or 1. So 2 works really well in the mechanics of the bump mechanism and a $27 offer. Now, you've obviously got to sell them on that $27, but this is a really good entry point, right? You can push it up, $97, whatever, but at $27, you're doing, this is going to be really awesome. And then you just have on your VIP upsell page, which is literally, you wouldn't really touch this, you're just adding a button here. So instead of having the cart on the VIP page, you have the cart, you have a 1-click upsell, right? If you guys don't know what a 1-click upsell is, just for those guys that don't know what a 1-click upsell is that once people have filled in their card information here on this page, when they get to this page, they don't have to go and fill in their card details again. What that means is they just click the button, boom. It adds the payment of this $97 VIP, right? And you got a VIP stack, VIP stack, right? That you're charging them. So now, most people that if you do this the right way, $27, most people will buy your bumps, right? And your bumps will drive revenue to increase cart value, and then the one-click upsell. Once again, this is where your money is, right? This is the money shot. Now, I've told you, ladies and gentlemen, about getting people into your world that are paying to be spending time with you. Now, we introduce this next part. This is a ninja move, right? And this is part of a closing sequence process. There is this thing that I've noticed in the industry, and there's a big shift, and I've done this, right? That if you do an event, or any sales process for that matter, and you're selling high ticket, and you want to get people into your world and you want to bridge that high ticket, right? Say if you went into an event and you had a $25,000 offer, and it doesn't matter how well good you are at the events, doesn't matter how long the events are, doesn't matter whatever the events, trying to sell a high ticket offer in an event is sometimes trickier, right? And takes experience and a lot of testimonials and a lot of mechanics to do that. However, there's this bridging process that I'm going to teach you guys about today called a zero selling system. And what that means is that it's called a paid session. There's a paid, I have a special way of doing this, but it's a paid session that people can do and jump into your world straight away, right? They can get on your calendar, but instead of doing a free discovery call, so who likes free discovery calls? They're just a waste of time. You start charging people to be on your calendar. It's a very unique method, and it's super powerful. This will be the biggest needle mover you could ever do in your business. But we bring in this extra page, which is for the people that want to go super fast, right? I have a client that has just started doing this process. She used to do all these free calls, right? She used to do her events and then get people onto these free discovery calls or free sessions. And she was so frustrated. She was like, I can't keep doing this because all these people are just wasting my time. Like 80% of the people that jumped into free calls were not buying stuff, right? And she was pretty good at selling. They did reasonable in the numbers. But as soon as they did this and started closing to a paid strategy session, boom, the numbers escalated. No more tire kickers, no more freebie seekers, no more time wasters. Everybody that comes onto their calendar has now spent some money. Usually that's about $297, $299, somewhere around there. And simply a yes or a no, right? That's all you give them, a yes or a no. You want to go fast, ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity for you to go super fast. I'm doing this strategy session where I'm going to help you break through X, and you're going to get this solution straight away. So you're going to learn all this stuff in the event, but you're going to get onto my calendar before everybody else, and I'm going to be able to help you. I've only got limited spots. If you want to jump in now, now's your opportunity. Let's go. Boom. This is going to totally change the way you're doing your business, because that is going to be how you get rid of tire kickers, how you go from making money to making a ton of money, right? Now, we're doing this model, right? And this is going to be probably just a day session. This is your masterclass funnel, which works really, really well. All right, so we're doing at this stage, you're probably doing a single day event. You don't want to go into multi-day until you've got this dialed in. You got your numbers working, and everything is kind of just streamlined and smooth. Maybe you're going to increase some prices here. Maybe you'll add value to your bumps over a period of time. Maybe you'll increase your VIP upsells, and then your power upsell is going to change dramatically here, right? So you're going to go, boom, add this yes or no thing. and then your closing sequence is going to improve. You're going to get better at closing. So at this point here, what you're doing is really increasing that cart value and improving your closing sequence, right? How you're going to close people, getting away from doing those discovery calls and free calls and go into a zero selling environment. And all you're literally doing is onboarding people. Like there's no selling involved when you do this process. And it becomes part of your closing presentation. How cool, right? Amazing stuff. Then we're going to go into one of my favorites, and this is where we get to the top of the funnel, phase 4. This is incredible. This is where the game changes, right? And you go from really stressing to making consistent, huge money, right? And this is kind of the pro level. Now, I wouldn't preface this. There's only a few changes that we're doing from the previous funnel. And that's really, we're adding a second option on VIP. Sorry, we have a 2-option VIP instead of a 1, and we still got the power upsell. We still got 2 bumps, and we're still doing a paid event. The only difference is going to be shifting here as we go into multi-day event. Right, I don't know why this is blurry. My apologies. Shouldn't be. You're gonna, no, not calibrating. All right. Anyway, so we're paid events and we're doing multi-day. Multi-day means doing a 3-day challenge, 3-day workshop, a 3-day launch. I prefer challenges, and we're increasing the entry to $47.97, increasing your cart value. Your bumps will be already validated, and we're increasing and adding to your cart value by adding a second VIP, right? And that second VIP increases the conversions of your VIPs and increases your cart value. So you're offering a $97 and a $297 VIP. This is next level stuff. It's funny that when you offer 2, if you offer 3, it doesn't convert in this instance as 2. So I think the psychology of it is like this, right? If you give somebody one thing, it's like yes or no, right? When you offer them 2 things, it's like, which one of these do you want? That's a very powerful psychological trigger. So it means that they're going to choose one of those 2 things. If you have 3 or more, it starts to become, that dilutes the decision-making process. How interesting is that, right? And so having 2 always seems to have a better conversion mechanism than having 3 or more, or even 1. So we increase the cart value. Now this is when you can really shift the mechanics of the return on your investment to 8 to 11, because now you and this is including your high ticket sales, right? Now the numbers are shifting, right? And you go from, we're going to talk about the closing mechanics, from literally just doing an enrollment close, right? Closing through an enrollment call and getting people into your world that way. That is the growth mechanism of doing your funnels. If you don't go through the first 2 phases, the ability to really get clarity on your numbers and your mechanics becomes super difficult. So everybody that I've seen, and the money that we've invested, and all the mechanics that we've worked through over the last few years, evidences that the people that go through the process of building, getting confident in the first layers, always have success going forward. $100,000 days become easier because you have the right people in your world and your numbers are working for you. Right. Let us go here. So here's the thing, guys. We've just covered the cash flow engine, right? Now, the cash flow engine is a piece of a puzzle. It's a piece of the mechanics to make your business work, right? It's like the piece in the middle. It's the heart of your business. If you don't have a cash flow engine or a way to produce cash flow in your business as part of your money model, it becomes so hard, right? It's just and there's a whole lot of people saying, oh, you don't need funnels to do that, blah, blah. Of course you need a funnel. If you want to be a pro in this industry, you need a place for people to see and learn about you. And the funnel is everything. Are you guys with me? Like the funnel, or the cash, I call it the cash flow engine because it's got to produce cash flow, is the heart of your business. But there is a bigger picture here, right? And the bigger picture is this, right? Is that we got to zoom out a little bit, because there's three layers that cause most coaches and experts from getting stuck in their businesses, right? And we zoom out a little bit and we have a look at it in more depth. You'll see that there is a mechanism for doing all this work. So this is my system, our system, right? And today we talked literally about the cash flow engine, right? Which is step number 5 of our system. This is an important part. It's the heart of your business, right? But there are 3 pillars, 3 core pillars of driving, and this is a complete A to Z system and covers everything that I'm about to show you and that you need to run a successful one-to-many selling system, right? I'm going to show you the AI tools that we've got and how this all works and comes together. You guys, if you're interested in seeing and building this stuff easy, type in the chat easy. Because back in the day, building a business system was complicated, right? Yes, I'm going to give you, somebody's asking for the copy of the graphics. We'll put together, we have a workbook, which anyone that's registered for free or in the VIP, you're going to get a copy of this workbook. I suggest you jump into the, I don't know if the VIP is probably closed now, but anyway, this is our mechanics, right, of an entire system. And you'll get a copy of this, but it starts with following the exact steps. If you don't follow the process, you can't build a successful business. It's just the reality of it, right? So there are 3 core pillars. The first is your offer. You need to have a clear offer. If you don't have a clear offer and your offer mechanics are not working, you're never going to make money, right? And you can't, and if you want to make money, right, if you've got your offer dialed in, you need to have a money mechanism, a money model that works for you, that drives revenue, that creates your money, right? It's the pieces of the puzzle. Like at the top here, we got your presentation, your sniper close, you got your cash flow engine, and then we got your GeniX converter. And I'll dive a little bit deeper into this in a second. And then you have clients. You can't get clients or run traffic until you have an offer, until you have your money model locked in. Once you have those all locked in, then everything works together, right? So what does that look like? Now, the biggest problem that most coaches faces is the offer problem, right? They're creating offers that aren't helping them move forward. They're burning them, they're drying them, they're costing them a whole lot of money, right? And it's like they create these offers that are like a ball and chain stuck to their legs, like shackled to their legs, and they're dragging these offers along. And they're not producing profit, they're not producing money, and they're just a drain, right? Then we got this other big problem, which is the leaky bucket problem, right? Putting money, energy, and effort into a business, and all that's happening is the money is just draining out. It's becoming, you test ads, you test marketing, you're doing organic, you're posting until your thumbs are bleeding, and you're like chasing the DMs, and all this energy and effort just seems to be pouring out. You're not filling your bucket up, right? And it's a huge problem. And then finally, it's the empty room problem, right? You're running your events, or you're running your funnels, you're running your systems, and you're putting money into it, but you're not attracting the right audience. The wrong people are getting in front of you. You're burning money on this whole engine, and you're just not in the right space. The audience is not qualified. They're not coming in ready to buy. And so I just want to quickly preface you. Can you guys see how the cash flow engine would change your event revenue? Right? Can you guys see, like, if you had a cash flow engine in, how it would change the game for you, right? And give you that ability to make money. Yes, thank you. So I want to dive into this. So my system is a complete system, right? From A to Z. It covers everything we're going to go through in this next section, right? Now, first of all, the very first step is the $1 million story builder. Now, why is this important? Because most people are trying to sell vitamins. They have these messages, but they're just confusing, and people don't want to consume them, right? You're not stopping the scroll. If your message is distorted, it feels confusing, it feels overwhelming, people are not going to buy into your business. And the story consists of 3 parts. First of all, you have your key promise, your $1 million promise. The promise is the message that tells people what you're doing. This is the overarching message of your entire business. Then we have what we call your $1 million moment, right? And your $1 million moment is the story of how your system existed or how your business has come to be. This is a key component. I think this is the most undervalued part of the story mechanism, because if people don't know why your system exists, where you came from, the message that you have about all of your business, then you're not creating the connection that's necessary for people to understand who you are, to believe you, to want to go on this journey with you. Because it's a story, like my story from construction worker. When I started working construction, I literally started out sweeping floors and worked my way up to running $180 million projects. But I was unfulfilled because I wanted to run my own business. And I knew I had to go make a change. And when I discovered high ticket, everything changed for me. I had purpose, I had a belief, I had an understanding. I had this decision, like this journey took me to a place. And so I went on this journey to learn about high ticket, and it's brought me to where I am today. Your story changes the game. And what this does is it helps you create a message that's desirable, giving people the magic, making them feel like this is something they want to consume and be part of. The next part is creating a system, a unique mechanism, right? Because guess what? Today, it's inevitable. We got competition. There's so much competition out there, right? You got to stand out in a noisy marketplace. And the number one game we're playing today, ladies and gentlemen, is stop the scroll. If you can't stop the scroll, you're losing the game already. That's the first thing we have to do. And the best way to do that is have a clear message. The second is to have a system, a mechanism, a unique mechanism that helps people to understand what you do, and it creates curiosity and is believable, right? My mechanism, you just saw it, I have a system that drives my business. All my content, all my copy, everything is dissected from my system. Super important. What that does is it helps you stand out as a category king or queen. Very important, right? To be a leader in your space, you need a unique mechanism, a unique system. I call it a magic formula. Then the next part of it is the offer. You need an offer. Now, a lot of people have offers and they say, I have a look at their offers and I'm like, oh my goodness, I see where you're going. You got great potential. I love what you got going on there, but at the moment, I would look at your offers, and some people's offers, they come to me and I'm like, whoa, we can do something. I can see huge potential in this, right? We can take it from average and we can do something extraordinary with it. And so I have an offer mechanism that is about increasing the value and lowering the stress on your offer, making an offer more desirable, right? This is the mechanics of the offer system that we have. And what that does is take your offer from average to extraordinary, right? Because if your offer is desirable, if it's of high value, and it's something people want, selling it becomes easy. The offer sells itself, right? Because there's a part of the market that wants that offer, that wants that exclusivity, that high value that you can provide for them, your expertise, your knowledge, packaged in such a way that it just feels super sexy. That's what we want to create. The next layer, this is step number 4, is your presentation, right? Is doing a presentation that's interesting, that's unique, that people can see there's value in it by having your system driving the presentation and doing it in a certain way that gets value and helps people, teaches them, educates them, nurtures them, helps them with the transformation. There's a mechanic for that, right? There's a specific model that I use for doing that. This model has been dissected from studying hundreds and hundreds of presentations across the board. We've dissected them, we've run them through AI, and we looked at a formula that is being used across the industry that works really well, that's designed for conversions. And I call this, I'll talk about this later, it's called the score selling system, or it's a score process that we put in this that helps you create the value in the event. But ultimately, it's the closing sequence. This part here, how you close, and we have 3 core close sequences, and they they change as you get confident over time. Closing sequence is, first of all, there's an initial one, right? When sometimes you do go to do free, but it's the same process that we go into the zero pitch close, right? Where we start charging people to be in our world. You do not want to have freebie seekers on your calls ever again, right? You want people to be paying you money so that you're not wasting your time and energy, right? And then finally, you get away from even selling, and just closing and call it enrollment close, right? There's different mechanisms for that. So your closing sequence is super important, and it doesn't matter whether you're doing a micro event, right? A single day event, which is 2 to 4 hours, or a multi-day event. I'm going to show you how we can build your entire presentation without, doesn't matter how long it is, just by a click of a button. And it'll create this unique magical experience with slide decks and everything that comes with it, so you can have an awesome outcome. Now, the next one is, and this is my favorite, right? Oh, where we're here. We talked about the cash flow engine, right? Going broke to making cash flow. I won't dive into that because we spoke about this a whole session. But then, this is step number 6 in my system. Part of the leaky bucket for process, right? When you're spending money and you're investing in your funnels, you're investing in your business, I see so many people struggling with this, right? The ultimate leaky bucket. It's the follow-up system. It's the process that gets people into your events, right? Into your events and then sold at the back end. 60% of your money is going to be made in the back end, in the follow-up. Your replays, your follow-up sequences, the keeping up in front of people, being in front of mind the whole time, right? And there's a specific formula for this, right? You got your pre-event, you got your on your day hype, like there's a sequence of messages, a sequence of stuff that happens on the day, and then your post, right? After the event. What happens after the event? Just because somebody didn't show up at your event doesn't mean that they're not a client. Just because they attended your event and didn't buy doesn't mean they're not a client. Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, 60% of your money is going to be generated in this back-end system, right? The follow-up, the nurture, the getting them back into your events, right? What does that mean? The cash flow that you create from your system, initially, the cash flow, these are your cash flow, your money collateral. Then it's the sequences of messages that happen before, during, and after your event. These attendees and non-attendees. So attendees plus VIP and non-attendees. Each of them are going to get a different sequence and follow-up system. Then, guess what? You're running your events on a sequential basis, right? So now, how does it look like to nurture those people and get them back into your world and show up? Because sometimes some people haven't been at your event. Next week, they're going to show up at your event. It's funny that. And the more you do these, your events, the more you build, it compounds, right? It compounds. It's very interesting. Once you do this, you start uncovering and unlocking hidden money, right? There is more value in this part of the system than most of the other parts of the system, because this is where most people fail, is they don't have a follow-up and nurture sequence in place that does the job. Now we get into, this is the last column. This is getting to a place where we're going to now create your content, right? Who has ever experienced content overwhelm, right? Here's the thing. You've got to create emails, video scripts, video ads, social media, all this different content, copy on your landing pages, all this stuff, right? There is so much content to create these days. It's like, boom, your head wants to explode. Thank goodness we've got AI to help us create this stuff, but it needs to be designed in a way that keeps things together, and the message has to be the right message that converts. That's why I created this Goliath content system, right? I talked to you earlier about SCORE. SCORE is a system that I use to get conversions, right? It's a formula for creating copy, and everything that you will build in your world will be built around SCORE. SCORE consists of, it's a 5-act process, right? works like this. You got serendipity, which is how you introduce people into your world. Serendipity is creating that serendipitous moment where people go, oh, that's for me. Then we go into connection. Connection is building the connection between you and the audience, letting them know that you know and understand who they are, right? This is a very powerful part of the selling process. Then there's opportunity. This is where you teach them about the thing that you've got, your system. You introduce your system, your client results, your stories, all the things that fit around adding value to what you do. Reality or risk reversal is reframing the message and removing the risk out of the equation so that they feel comfortable moving forward. And then execution is getting them to take action in a unique and specific way, giving them choices, options, consequence, and helping them understand why it's necessary for them to take action and do business with you. How cool is that? So we go from content overwhelm by building in this system. The content and ad blocks is a formula that we use with all the different mechanisms that are necessary, and all of your content gets created. You got social media, social posts, email, messenger, your authority ads, everything gets created in literally a click of a button. So it's easy now for you to create content at scale, and I'm going to show you that how that all works in a second. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a game changer because it all comes together, one complete system, right? The next thing is, this is interesting, right? We start our social growth at $5 a day. Why do we do that? Now, here's the thing. This is something I don't think very many people know about. Let me see if I've got this here. No, I have to draw this quickly. This is really crazy, right? When I when I discovered this, I was like, oh my goodness, why am I wasting so much money and time and energy on social media? Say this is you, right? And you're posting daily on social, right? You send out a post today on social media, right? You essentially send out this post, Facebook sends it out to an audience, right? Whatever audience it thinks that is going to be for that post. Then tomorrow you do another post, or maybe you do 2 posts in a day. There's a little bit of a dissection between those audiences, slowly. It's trying to figure out who your people are, right? Maybe some of you got bigger audiences, and you might get likes and follows and all that kind of stuff, but likes and follows don't make you money. But here's the thing, as you're doing social, this is what's happening constantly. You're going out to audiences that are unrecognized, and then maybe there's a little bit of an overlap, and you start building these little kind of segments that kind of make sense, right? Over a year, that compounds. Over a year, maybe 2 years of constantly posting, that compounds. When I was doing my consulting business, when I in real estate, even now we do this, right? Instead of this old outdated method, what we do is we do something a little bit different, because we don't want to lose control of our audience growth. We want to know that I can, that's not me. Let's do it a little bit more central, yeah. So this is you posting your social, right? Now, instead of, if every day you posted and you're reaching one audience, and that audience was growing over time, right? But it was your audience, you could own it, and you were this was your circle of influence. This is a better way to do it. So every time you posted, you're posting to the same audience, right? Because the more times you show up in that audience, the more value you get, the more you grow. Now, what we do is you create a $5 ad, right? That's it, $5 ad. This is your social growth strategy. This is what I just showed you, Pixie Dust Social. As you're growing this, you are literally only retargeting your warm audience, your audience that you've created, right? And you grow this over time. There is no better way to create your own circle of influence and create your own energy than doing this. I've tested many different models for advertising, but when you create and build your own and you're in control of your own audience, this is emails and pixels, right? When you're retargeting, right, and you're running your ads, this is where you get the lowest cost for your ads. And when you nurture, let me come in here. When you also create a cycle of nurture, right? and you're nurturing this audience as well. So you're not just posting, you're nurturing them too. You'll get crazy low cost. That's why my clients, I showed you in the beginning, I showed you Olivera's getting $6 a registration for events because she's built her own circle of influence. And her own circle of influence means she controls the algorithm for only $5 a day. And when she's spending money on ads, she's getting the best value because these people have seen her over and over and over and over again. This is how you do powerful marketing and advertising. So we get rid of this. What that means is that you're creating this value and getting clients, and you're creating this thing that I call a content or client flywheel. And they ask, right? This is asking people where you do partnerships and working with other audiences to grow your audience. Posting, but you still got to post. But instead of posting every single freaking day, you do it once a week maybe, and you change the cycle of your paid ads, your paid social, right? And then pay. You only pay for ads that are going into a warm audience. So ask, post, pay is going to give you growth. This is a client flywheel. This is a client flywheel, right? That drives traffic, powerful warm traffic to your events, to your audiences, right? This is how you rapidly grow and create your own value stream in your market. Right, you guys with me? Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's go back to where we were. So the first layer is what I was talking about, is Pixie Dust Social, right? Because audience growth is important. Your audience growth is super important. A lot of people are stuck. They're hammering on social media. They're trying to grow these audiences. Posts are dead. It's just frustrating as heck. And they're going nowhere. This system helps you build an audience rapidly. You're plugging in your system. All your content comes from your magic formula. We run it through a score process, and we create all the content necessary so that you can rapidly grow your audience. This is how you grow a hungry crowd. It's the exact system. It's very simple, easy to set up. The AI creates the content. You run the play. You do a script, create an ad. Boom, you run it into your audience growth mechanism and your nurture sequences. Very, very easy. Then we come to the most of my favorite, which is Dragonfire ads. See, a lot of people are struggling out there, right? Because they don't understand advertising. Here's a secret, right? People don't realize that Facebook doesn't want more ads. Facebook wants good quality ads, or ads that stop the scroll. That's all Facebook wants, or YouTube. They don't want 1,000 million ads. They want quality ads. Here's a secret I want to share with you guys. While everyone's saying you got to do 100 ads, you got to do all these kind of things, I would like to share with you that over the last 3 events, we have run one single graphic, one single creative, just one, not 20, not 30. We're using AI, and we created one visual that's driving our entire engine right now. And I did this as an experiment because we're not running a massive budget. We're running a reasonable budget, but I wanted to experiment. Do you need 50 ads? Do you need 20 ads? No. You need one good quality ad, and you can drive your entire business on it if you set the infrastructure of this all properly. And AI is helping to drive that, and it's a system that creates the process, right? So instead of burning money on ads, wasting money on ads, right, we create a formula where we're retargeting or converting warm audiences. We're bringing in cold audiences, we're warming them up, and then we're retargeting and converting them, right? So we got a motivation, and we got the conversion system. What that does is it helps you manage the cost of your ads, keeps the budget super tight and low, so you're not wasting money on audiences that are not warmed up, and you get a better ROI. Right? Once you follow the mechanism, this is how you're going to attract the right audience, bringing those people into your world who are perfect, suited, and ready to do business, right? And this is the power of running good advertising. Now, We specifically have a model where we're doing so many different things to warm up our audiences, but most of the money is made after the event. So we're driving people in, we're connecting and nurturing with people, and people are doing business with us during the event and after the event, which is what you want to do, right? That's how you close 8 to 12 clients every day, every 28 days. So I want to share with you guys, if I may, how we serve people. If you guys are okay with me showing you how we serve people and what this all means, give me a yes in the chat. Any of you on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook, give me a shout out if you're interested in knowing how we serve people. Awesome, 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 awesome. So, first of all, everything I used to do used to be manual. Now I've invested a lot of money in building a system that was designed around doing things the old way, right? Guess what? The world has changed. We're now in a place where we can utilize AI to amplify the things that we're doing. For all of these problems that I've talked about on the board today, even though we have frameworks, the frameworks are important. We've taken all the frameworks that have been proven and we've put them into AI, and we are able to now build all the stuff very fast and accurately. And with the help of AI, and specifically Claude, doing the heavy lifting. And when you have a system that is proven and easy to run, everything changes, right? Creating a script, creating a social post, creating an email campaign, doing your nurture sequences, all of that stuff becomes super powerful because you have frameworks and an AI-powered system to do this. Now, first of all, I just want to show you that you guys that have already got this is the starting point, right? This is the baseline of building. So we have an call an AI offer vault or an AI vault, right? Prompt vault. And what this prompt vault does is it follows the system that I just showed you, right? We're building out an entire infrastructure so that you can have the results that you want using AI. Now the mechanisms work a little bit differently, but what we have to do is we have to follow the steps, step by step, right? Building your brand profile, your visual style guide, your brand voice. Those are given, but they need to be done in a very solid way so that you can get the right outputs. So your outputs fundamentally sound like you, look like you, feel like you, and your visuals all come across the same. So you need these foundational pieces, right? Now there's a few pieces that we're still building in here that's missing, but these are the foundations. Then you go into phase one. Pillar is the offer matrix, right? And I showed you guys on the board the offer matrix, which is pillar one. In the offer matrix, you're going to start with your story, right? First of all, we start building your $1 million promise. We create avatar profiles, which is super important for the AI to understand who your avatar is in detail, the voice that they're using, the language that they use, etc. Then we create your $1 million moment, which is your discovery or your system origin story, your system discovery story, following a very specific formula called pivot. This builds a story so connecting with your audience. They're just deeply interested in knowing more about you. And it's an interview process that the AI has built. So all these builder prompts create the stuff that you need to run a powerful engine, right? So then we go, this is step two, which is the magic formula. A magic formula is about creating a system, the unique mechanism that you're going to be using to drive your business. All your content, everything comes from your unique mechanism, your magic formula. You build this once, and then it's always going, this is going to be with you for the rest of your journey, as long as you're a coach, consultant, or expert. What we do is we take all of that information and we put it into a scorecard. The scorecard then drives the engine for the AI it pulls all of your information from there, right? It consists of 5 acts, which is the score component, and the 19 blocks of pieces of content that we'll draw from to run your engine. Then we go and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, you have to build these in sequence, otherwise it breaks. And this is how you build a powerful AI mechanism for one-to-many selling. Then you build your money model. Your money model is everything, because if you don't understand your numbers, your money model, then that's a big break in the system. So we understand how you're going to pitch, how your phases come together, what phase you're in, so that you can start building the rest based on the phase that you're in. Every time you change your phase, you just change here, and then it updates across the board. Create your enrollment doc or your offer doc, your event magnet. So this is going to be all the copy and content for your event. So it helps you decide on what your masterclass, challenge, workshop is going to be, what the copy is going to be for that, and it builds out all the copy and content for your masterclass. This is just the front end tool of your masterclass, right? Then this part here builds all your upsells, your offer upsells, your bumps, all of the pieces that you need to add value to the cart. It can create that for you. So workbooks, cheat sheets, anything that you want to have as an upsell, it adds that and creates that. Right. So this is your offer engine, your Red Diamond offer system. Then we move into the next part. Now, we are just launching the cash flow engine model right now. So this is coming out as part of what we're doing in this event. But one of the most magical things is creating your closing sequence and your presentation and your slides. This is an incredible shift. I'm going to show you that in a minute. And then we're going to be building your cash flow engine. Now, if you guys jump in today, we have all of these already built in the system. We just haven't got AI tools yet. They're coming right now. Our team is building them as we speak to put these all together so that you can do a plug and play and use the AI to create all this stuff and all of this stuff. So all these systems are already built, but we just haven't got the builder prompts for them yet. And the next layer up is this. This is next level, right? Is AI agents. We all know that AI agents are important, but most people are struggling with AI agents because they're not designed for specific tasks, or they don't know where to start, or what AI agents are necessary for building these. So we have these AI agents that can only work once you've built your core mechanisms together. So they slot into the whole process. And these AI agents are going to be things like building your social authority, your show up and follow up agents, talking to people, calls before and after the event. There's a closing agent, getting them on your calendar. There's your ad optimization agents. There's your metrics and money, and there's a whole lot of new agents coming out now if you wanted to jump onto these and learn how we're doing this and building this infrastructure. So what does this mean? Now, we have all of the systems already built in our system, right? The automations are already created. So this is our Genie X automation system. So when we look at these, we've got your pre-event, during, post-event, all your booking, your pipeline, your cash flow. All of this stuff is already built for you. You don't have to think about anything. All you have to do is create the content and plug it into the system. We've also got right now the AI, our AI funnel builders coming in, and we've got for you guys already pre-built all of the mechanisms that you need to build super fancy, super sexy landing pages. But we're taking this to a whole new level and making it even easier, right? Because we have templates, but we're going to be really jumping into this whole process in a whole nother level. Let me show you, right? So each part of the dashboard, right, that you're in has an instruction manual. So when you're inside this dashboard, anything that you click on here, for example, has a companion guide, an explanation. It tells you exactly what each piece is for and how to put it together, what it means. So exactly how to use the pieces, and they look really interesting, like nice. And then you got your builder prompt. So for each piece of the puzzle, let me go back and close this here. Close that. Each piece of the puzzle has a unique piece. So a builder prompt means you'll click on here, you'll download it, you'll get that prompt, and then you'll put it into Claude. And I'll show you how to build all this system so that it runs on autopilot. And then we plug in your agents. It's going to build everything for you. Even what we're bringing in the cash flow engine now is this system where once you've built all of your, sorry, go here. Once you've built all of these pieces, right, and especially this event magnet, all you have to do is just instruct the AI, boom, I need a funnel, I'm at this phase, I'm at this, and I need this type of funnel, create the funnel, I need all the copy, all my images, everything created, and it'll do the whole funnel, your ticket landing page, your stacks, your designs, everything. Now this is a template, but it'll fill in all the pieces that you provided based on all the stuff that you've built. And we got a whole heap of different templates coming. These are highly converting templates built on all the stuff that we know that already works. So super, super cool. You don't have to go and think about all the tech. It provides you a zip file, right? You take that zip file, you bring it in here, you add your zip file into this gallery here, wherever, you just drop your zip file in, boom, and it'll build the entire funnel with all your copy, all your images that you provide, everything done, boom, in a second, and off you go. You can run a new, different event every single week, literally if you wanted to. You just tell the AI and it'll create all your ads, everything done for you. That's one of the coolest parts. Your thank you pages, your VIP upsell pages, everything that you need for your events is getting put together. We're designing these so that they're highly converting, and it comes with all your analytics and everything plugged into it. So very, very cool. Even your thank you pages. So if you're in phase 1, right, you're doing phase 1, this is your key metric for your phase 1 landing thank you page. Boom, we have it done. So it'll give you the script, you write your script, do your video, puts everything together in seconds. This is the future of creating your events. Very, very awesome. Here's the coolest part, right? I wanted to show you this, guys. Even we're developing this now. It's going to create your presentations, right? Look how awesome this is. So you give it the data based on all the stuff that you've built in your AI, and now you can go and create super cool slides to teach your people, your audience, and it's it's next level stuff. So you can just, with a few prompts, change everything, and it's going to build your entire slide deck for you. And you can go edit them with Claude, and just a much better experience. So you'll see I have notes at the bottom here, so you can write your notes in there. And also, when you're doing presenter view, you can present this so that you can see your notes on your computer as you're presenting this, right? Closing there, yeah. So how cool is that? Loads of stuff that we've built in our system. Now, what does that mean for you? What that means is that you get everything that you need in a closed system. There's nothing left out for you to be out that you need to build and run an event, right? And it can even build your courses and everything, because your course is built around your system and your formula. So if you want to design and build an AI system that's going to last with you for years and years and years, you build a folder structure. You build all your content in a knowledge base. The knowledge base with instructions and skills will pull all of that stuff together, and you can use it over and over and over again, because it's just words that you're turning into visuals and video, right? Or emails, or whatever it is that you're creating. Once you build the core infrastructure, there is nothing stopping you. You have to think about stuff, right? By a click of a button, I need a social post. About what, right? This, and this, boom. Creates a social post, creates your ads, creates all of the stuff that you need to run an engine. So what it is we have this, what I call the 100K Day Accelerator, which includes everything, the whole system and everything that you could possibly need to create events and run successful events. From creating your offers, your upsells, your documents, your magnets, your lead magnets, everything, all the way to attracting clients and building your AI. Now, one thing I forgot to show you guys, this is really cool, is we have an AI, I have this here, give me 1 second, just before show you. I just have to. So AI today is a game changer in everything, right? And including advertising. If you're not using AI for ads, you're losing a lot of money and it's going to cost you way more. When you're, is this the right one? I hope this is the right one. Yep. So what we have here is an AI ads management system, right? And so when I said to you today that we're running one single ad, you can see my budget is really low, right? And we're running one single ad, one ad. And it's driving incredible results right now for our system. Because what we have is AI is managing and optimizing my system, right? So you'll see here, as I load up content and images, I can have it managing. I've just got 5 images in here, but you can load up these buckets with various different content and it'll optimize against that content. I literally won't have to touch my ads for months and months and months because it's running all of the metrics. You can see my click-through rates are super high. All our conversions are coming in at a low rate, and our ads are performing at their best. Over time, it's optimizing my audience and my creatives. And the results are coming through over and over again, right? So our average cost is about $18. This is Australian, and it's really, really good at the moment. Just with one ad. As soon as I start optimizing for more advertising, this will go gangbusters. So you guys get this as part of the whole system, right? So let me iterate this and say what this all means for you. So we have what we call the accelerator, right? The accelerator, Nick, can you drop the link, please? And the accelerator is our full custom plan done for you. Oh no, where you do it yourself, right? You can do this all yourself and build your entire infrastructure. Everything is there for you to go and jump in, right? So it's $697 for the month, or it's $5,964 for the year. That's a $497 for the month. Right now, that is a super, super amazing rate because this is right now we're running a beta, and it's actually the last day. Actually, we're raising the prices literally tomorrow. You can see 17th of July. My calendar, the countdown timer, I don't know if you guys can see it, is at 0 right now, 0. 17th of July today, we're raising the prices. So this is the last time. I'm kidding you not. We had a countdown timer. We're going to be going to 9,800 for the year because this is a super powerful engine that is guaranteed to get you clients and help you close more in your events. So only for today, and probably for you guys that are in here, like for the next 24 hours, we'll keep this open, but you got 24 hours to make a decision, and we're taking this from 5,000. Literally, today's the 17th. I forgot about that. We're raising the price to 9,800 because of the value and all the AI and all the tools that we've added to this. It's just next level. All right. So what do you get? You get all the tools, all the AI tools that I showed you, the entire system, everything you need, your scripts. We're bringing in a whole lot of new tools, designer tools for AI, specifically around one-to-many events, right? This is specifically around going through the 4 phases and building a business that's actually going to get you results. No confusion, no trying to stick pieces together. This is a step-by-step model, an exact step-by-step process. So you're not left overwhelmed, thinking what's next. You do this thing first, then this thing, then this thing, then this thing, exactly step by step. And as you do this, you're going to build your system and you're going to build a business that actually makes you money, right? Getting rid of all the confusion. So if you guys have a look at that, the link that I've just dropped, you'll see it has all these things. We have the rapid cash flow plans. These are the 4 phases that we'll go through with instructions on how to do that and go from where you are now to within 112 days, close your 100K day, right? That's what we're aiming for, to do 100K day, but you're making money along the way. So you're growing, aiming to get those $100,000 months happening consistently. We have these fill the room sprints and client conversion sprints. Now, these are weekly sprints that we run where people, the biggest things, the frustration that people have is understanding advertising or ads. And so we have a fill the room sprint, which is the sessions where we go and dissect ads. We give you value on how you can optimize your ads, what to do to make your ads run smoothly so that you're dropping your costs and increasing your conversions and getting the right people in the room. Then there's a client conversion sprints. This is all your systems and integrations, all the stuff that's necessary, your AI tools that we work through with you in a weekly sprint as well. So we've got 2 separate sprints. One is about filling the room. One is about conversions and doing all the systems, right? What you get with it is 365 days of our CRM. So that CRM that I showed you before and all the tools that come with it are all free for the next 365 days. You pay nothing for that, right? And the AI Dragon Ads system that I showed you, the AI system, you will get for 30 days free to come test it out, see if it's of value for you. If you want to stick around, you can stay. If you don't, then you can get rid of it. You can run that on your own Facebook ads account, the exact same system. You can do all of this on your own ads accounts. I'll show you how. But the Dragon Ads platform is next level, right? It just helps you manage and run your ads. So the reason why this is important is because you could hire an agency right now, and they're going to cost you, a good agency will cost you anywhere from about $250 a week to about $500 even more a week to run your ads, right? This eliminates the need for an agency because AI is going to help you optimize it better than an agency. You put in all the content and all your copy and everything, and it'll tell you what's good and what's not, and it'll run and manage your budgets, manage your audiences, manage everything you need for like next to nothing. It's crazy. That's next level stuff. Now you can get an agency. If you've got an agency, that's fine. You can keep spending money on that. But this Dragonfire ad system with the AI is next level. You get all of that stuff. So it also comes with a money back guarantee, right? You get your first 3 client guarantee. You follow the system, go through the steps, come and sit with us in at least 10 sprints, right? If you haven't closed your first 3 clients in that time, you pay 0, right? I'm very, very confident that within 10 sprints, if you follow all this stuff and you're building out all your AI and getting all your systems running, you'll close your first 3 clients. If you're already closing clients, this is gonna just accelerate it. It'll optimize everything, right? So it comes with the money back results. You see our client testimonials here. We've been helping people for years now break through in one-to-many events. This is not just a piece or a tactic, ladies and gentlemen. This is a complete system, right? It's everything that you could possibly need to run your events, right? There we go. There. Everything you possibly need to run your events. Let me close this. And we haven't left out anything, right? So it's built around one simple idea. That's to get high quality event attendees into your world. In whatever fact, we get low cost registrations. Those registrations, even if people haven't attended, will turn into money because we've got AI in the back end following up with people, showing up the replays, getting people involved, initiated, engaged, either showing up to your next event or getting closes happening right there and then. Just because you're running an event and people haven't shown up doesn't mean they're not money. There is opportunity in there. You just got to know how to turn it out. So a Genie X AI system at the back end with all the automations runs that play and gets people following up in the back end, right? So it's $697 for the month, or you can pay for the year and it's $497 for the month. You save 25%. That's less than $16 per day. Less than your morning coffee these days, right? Your morning breakfast will cost more than that. This is a complete system, ladies and gentlemen, complete system, right? When I say complete system, this is everything you could possibly need to run and execute your business and attract high quality clients. You will close 8 to 12 new clients every 28 days. Excuse me. Now, when you start running events less frequently, because in the beginning you might run them more frequently, less frequently, this becomes a super powerful engine that you can just run and run and run and be confident that you're going to get results. I needed some more coffee. Sorry, that's in the way there. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a unique opportunity for you to dive in, right? There's zero risk in this. Money back guarantee. If you show up for 10 sprints, follow the system, you don't close at least 3 high ticket clients, you don't pay, right? I'm that confident that you're going to get results. And here's the thing, you're really at a crossroads, right? And that crossroads means that you're really in a place where you need to make a decision on what you want to do with your business, right? Here's the thing, you can keep doing what you've been doing all this time. You know, maybe you're feeling frustrated, maybe you're feeling overwhelmed, maybe all the tech is driving you nuts. Maybe you're just not getting the right audience, the right people in your world, and you can keep doing the same thing you're doing, chasing the shiny objects, trying to find a system that works for you, and keep figuring things out. Maybe you're still kicking that can down the road in 2 years, 5 years time, figuring out what you can do to run a successful business. Or you can jump in on this today and figure out and work with us and actually have a complete system, something that's easy to put together. That's an A to Z system, right? It has everything, or A to B, covers the whole, everything you need to get results, right? Your offers, all the offer stuff, all the money, your money model, and how to attract premium clients. A simple system that actually works for events, for selling one-to-many, with your close sequences in place, everything. Do the hard done for you package rebranding. So there's a good question coming. I don't know who iPad is. Hi, iPad. Do 3 high ticket clients include things like full done for you packages? Whatever it is that you are offering in your offer, we go through the process of dissecting your offer, what that looks like. But I'm not sure what you mean by rebranding. You get your own high ticket clients in, whatever those clients look like, you're going to close them in that period, because you're going to build a system that's going to attract those people in and that's going to get them converted. How you do your offer is up to you, not coaching high ticket. It depends on whatever your high ticket, what's your high ticket offer that you're offering, just so I understand, not coaching high ticket. So I'm not too sure what a full rebrand. So your high ticket offer is a full rebrand, right? So what that would mean is if you had a client coming in to do restructuring their whole brand and doing all their systems, that's you're going to close them, right, and get them into your world. How you service them after that is up to you. It's just about getting the close happening, right? So you've got people paying you to do the business with you. That's the key ingredient, right? So if you can get your first 3 clients paying you money for whatever it is that you do, then that's a big breakthrough. Now, some people come into my world and they have offers that are very intensive to run, because the structure and the design of the offer, or they're charging too little for what they're delivering. So what we go through is the process of helping to increase the value of the offer through a bridging process, right? And understanding what the ascension models will really look like. Because sometimes if you sell high ticket and you've got a whole heavy service delivery component in that, it can be very onerous if you're not charging the right amount of money. So one of the key ingredients in this is to help you create an offer that's of much higher value, so you can sell something where you're making a lot more profit and it's easier to manage, easier to run. Hopefully that helps. And so that's really what we're trying to do in this process, right? It's a complete system. The offer ascension model, or the offer models, we have a staging model for your offers, and knowing your ascension is critical. Some people want to spend a lot of money, some people don't. Some people want to do it themselves, some people want it done for you. We have a done for you offer as well, and you guys can jump and contact me directly if you want us to do it all for you, or you can do it yourself, right? Nick has just dropped in the link. If you wanted us to build this all for you and you want a hands-free experience, it's a different model. Some people just want it to do it themselves because they want to save money and they want a complete system, right? Not have to go worrying about buying all these different pieces, sticking all the pieces together and trying to figure things out, right? So, oh, so we have that system that we created. So your choice is either stick with what you're doing right now or jump into this. Now, building a cash flow engine changes everything, right? When you know how to build your money models and put your funnels together, that's just one piece of the puzzle. But having everything working together for you changes the game, right? It means that you have everything that you need to build an event, right? When you have the complete system, it's no longer just about it's just about wondering what's next, right? When you have a complete system, it's like when you buy McDonald's, right? Not all of us want to buy McDonald's, but when you buy McDonald's, they have a complete process, right? They have all the infrastructure, all the stuff that you need to run the business efficiently. This is what this is like. It's having a complete end-to-end process with exact steps, so you're not confused about what to do next. You do the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and it just follows a sequence. When you build it in sequence, it works, right? It works because there's a system that's proven. And that's how you put your business together in the right way. Now, I get people asking me a lot of questions. So if you guys have any questions, please fire away in the chat. I'm here to check, answer your questions and help you break through. Now, just so you understand, right, this whole package is valued at $36,000, right? There's $36,000 of value in this offer. We're giving you an option to jump in at beta price right now, which is half the price of what we're going to be charging. We're going to be pushing this up to $9,800. It's worth $36,000 with all the tools and resources that we put into this. And you're going to get it for only $5,964 for the year, which is $497 a month. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a crazy value right now. If I was starting over again, this is what I would be jumping into. I was always looking for this thing. I wanted everything to be complete. I don't have to go guessing what's the next step. How do I do this piece? How do I do that piece? I'm duct taping a YouTube system together, and then I'm like, that doesn't even work because it's done the wrong way, right? You're posting on social until you're like your thumbs are bleeding, right? And you're still not getting results. We take control of the mechanism. We build an infrastructure that's designed just for getting you from A to B, and it works within a closed unit, meaning that you don't have to think about any extra pieces. You run the play, you get your traffic, run it to this type of funnel, you get these numbers, you step to the next thing, you step to the next thing, you step to the next thing. It's not complicated. It's very simple. It just means you have to put in the work to do it. Right? If you're prepared to put in the effort, the results are guaranteed. Have a guarantee on our page, right? So you just follow the steps of this. It's a $36,000 offer that you're getting for a ridiculously low price right now. We're going to be doubling the price to $9,800. So you want to jump into this and lock in your spots. You can jump on my calendar if you wanted to. But we will validate you in the calendar to see if you're ready to take action. We don't want to work with people that are not ready to take action. If you're not ready to take action, don't book on my calendar because we're going to filter you. If you're ready to take action, you're like, I'm all in, I want to do this, but I just want to know a few things. I'm okay with that. We can have a discussion and chat through this, right? I usually don't talk to people if they're not ready to take action. So please understand that, and I know you do. I know you're in the space to get results and help people yourselves, and you understand the value of working with people who are ready to take action, right? If that's you, and you just want to have a chat with me and ask a few questions, my team will be happy to help you. Even I will be happy to help you, right? Now, I get a lot of questions. Any questions in this, guys? You guys have questions? You want to know about this? So some people say, I'm not tech savvy enough to build this. That's a really good question, right? Because we know that tech overwhelm is huge, and we don't want to get stuck with more tools and having to plug more pieces together. So that's why I built the AI tools. It's just going through and answering the questions, filling in the pieces, and adding these to your knowledge base. when you add these to your AI system with Claude, it takes everything to a whole new level. It makes it so easy. You just have to plug in the stuff and punch out the pieces that you need to build your system. And that's why the AI tools exist there. Nowadays, ladies and gentlemen, it's just so much easier to use AI. Problem is, a lot of people is they don't know how to put the AI pieces together, right? So our team is helping you build the AI systems so that you can run your business smoothly, and it's a complete system. If you want to get away from selling one-to-one and sell one-to-many, this is it. Your entire marketing team, your entire infrastructure, all the content, copy, everything is there included, right? And a lot of people are worried about building stuff from scratch, and that's why we've created all the systems that are ready and good to go. So you're already jumping in there. You can start making money nearly almost straight away with what we've already got there. You just have to go build it out, use our model, and boom, off you go. But we have a process. If you follow the process, it just makes it more solid. Some people say to me, well, I can't afford the $697, right, a month. And that's fine. I get that. I understand. This is not for everybody. But that's why we created a discount. It's $497 if you do the yearly. And we can work with you on that. But it's $697 a month. But I want to ask you this, right? What is it costing you not to have a complete system? And what is it costing you every month and every year to keep pulling pieces together? Duct taping this piece together, duct taping that piece together, trying to figure out how you're going to do this thing, grinding through building funnels, changing this funnel, trying this model, trying that model, and ending up in the same place, feeling frustrated. What is that costing you? Right? I got stuck in my job in construction for 5 years. 5 years going backwards and forwards in this cycle, second guessing myself, thinking, what if, maybe, I should, if I could do this. And that cost me, if I calculated it, we make $2 million a year from our businesses. That's $10 million of wasted energy and time from not taking action, And that's a seriously bad place to be. Not taking action is worse than the cost of actually jumping into something and believing in yourself and working in a system that actually and that's the power of all of this, right? Here's the thing, and you're not adding time here, you're replacing the hours with building something that reduces the amount of output you have to do on one-on-one selling, right? Reduces the calendar stress, chasing your calendars, and making it so that people are coming into your world, you're selling one-to-many, and the system does all the heavy lifting. And it's a beautiful place to be. Consistently bringing in and creating cash flow for your business, and then growing your one-to-many selling system. And at the end of it, you could automate all of this. But you don't automate it until you're getting those conversions right. By automating it, if you don't want to show up and be in front of people all the time, then you can automate all this. And some people ask me, can this work in any niche? Yes, it works in any niche. Real estate, mums in business, publishing, productivity, anywhere where there's a demand or a problem where you can serve and sell high ticket, this is where it works, right? And we help you create those high ticket offers in saying that, right? The most important thing is to have a high ticket offer, more than $3,000. So we're aiming for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. We even have $100,000 offers out there. Clients doing $100,000 offers. So we want to help you create those high value, high ticket offers so that you can make profit and you can sell more and run a business that's not draining you and it's actually making you money, right? And so all of that matters. Now, some people say to me, and I've had this before, people saying, well, I've run webinars before and they just didn't convert. And here's the thing, right? And typically with webinars, the structure or the money model of a webinar, it's broken. It's why we have the cash flow engine, because underneath it, it creates the ability for you to put money in and get money out. And that's the most amazing. Well done, iPad. Thank you very much for joining and congratulations. So for those that have tried webinars before and trying to figure things out, it can be very frustrating. That's why we have the cash flow engine. And that's incredible to do that, to have $1 in, $1 out to build a free list. All right, so if you guys don't have any questions, for those of you that are interested, right, for those of you that have just enrolled, here's what happens next, right? You guys are incredible. Thank you so much. I've had guys that have jumped in from all over the place. You guys are incredible. Here's what happens next, right? You're going to go, your inbox is going to get, you're going to get an email with all the instructions. There's going to be an onboarding information on that email. It's going to tell you all of your stuff, your logins, introduction to the academy, and when you're going to be able to come and join the sprints. Right? We have the sprints every week. So next week, you'll get into our next sprints. You come and join us. We work through this and we start building incrementally. As you have stuff that you're stuck with, we give you the pieces to break through and you start rapidly building your stuff, right? And the faster you, Ross, how you doing, Ross? Rosalind, nice to meet you, Ross. Thank you for sharing. Love it, love it, love it. So you'll get the introduction email. You come and join yourself, introduce yourself into the community and everything. And then we jump in next week. When you're ready to go, we have our first sprints and we'll just crush this. Awesome. Thanks. Nice to meet you, Ross. Nice to meet you, all the people that have jumped in on this today. It's fantastic to have you on board. We are looking forward to serving you. I know from my personal experience that selling one-to-one killed me for way too long. One-to-many is a much better model. Serving people, getting people in groups and selling to them, it's so much more efficient. We're going to do this together, ladies and gentlemen. I'm super excited to be serving you. My name is Matthew White, and it's been a pleasure and honor hanging out with you today. And if there's no further questions, I'm going to say goodbye. You have an amazing day going forward. Take care, and we're out. See you later. See you later, Roz. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.